Okay, welcome to the Yerba Power Podcast, where we share the power of yerba mate with the world. Today I have a special guest, Mariano, who I connected to through Instagram, thanks to the internet. Um, we were, I forgot how I exactly found each other, but I think I saw you doing a workout with your yerba mate, and so that's something that was connected to me. I've told this story a little bit on the podcast, but, as a runner and doing, just exercise in general and kind of wanted to get other people's opinions and stories about yerba mate and exercise. You don't have to be a professional athlete like Messi to enjoy yerba mate or maybe feel the benefits of exercise. And in fact, Mariano is about to drink some mate right now, about to go out for exercise here in a bit. But Mariano, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here. Nice to meet you, and nice to have this chance of telling the story about mate and workouts and general random stories about mate.
Yeah. And coming to that story, we were talking about this before starting, so I just decided to hit record because it's like, oh, this is a great story. Mariano was telling me that he actually didn't grow up drinking yerba mate, even though he's from Argentina. He didn't start till later. So go back and maybe start telling us that story that so that the listeners can hear that.
Yeah, of course. So I was telling you that when I was a kid, my brother used to drink mate right next to my bed while I was sleeping or waking up. But I never feel attracted to it. I never felt attracted to it. And I think that when I moved to Buenos Aires, I'm from the interior of Argentina, but when I moved to Buenos Aires when I had 17, 18 years old, um, I started studying in systems engineering. And I was somehow bored of drinking water and doing exercises, studying. So at some point, I was thinking, okay, let's give this a try to see how it tastes and why my brother liked this that much. Since then, I never stopped, man. It's like a drug for me. I love it.
So it's interesting. I talked to another guy from Poland, actually, that which Poland is apparently a big consumer of yerba mate, and it's kind of a niche thing there with, you mentioned like programming and computer, like I guess it's something about maybe just sitting at the computer for hours and needing to stay alert and awake, and so yerba mate has kind of stepped in there for that, and obviously we know, well, maybe to share this story with other people like yourself, is that a lot of, university students, especially in Argentina, will drink yerba mate all the time because to stay awake, stay alert for studying, right? So I guess just that people are going to ask me what the benefits, and to me, that's kind of also a lot of the reason I was really, really started to drink yerba mate by myself was when I was doing my master's, because most of the time, my wife would prepare it, and then I started to really do it for myself, I guess, at that point. So kind of that alertness, I guess, is the key thing, right?
Yeah, for me it's like an energizer, when I drink it, but it's natural, right? So when I drink it, it's not like coffee. For some reason, I feel subtle difference between mate and coffee. I think the effect is lower with the mate in terms of how much energy or anxiety I have.
Anxiety.
When I drink coffee, yes, when I drink coffee, I feel even more energized, So for me, it's like a cool balance.
Yeah, and I've talked about that before, but I guess that's a key as well, is that like the a level of energy. In other words, sure, it might be higher, but the crash with coffee versus with yerba mate, it's a steady, sustained
Exactly.
energy, and it's maybe at a lower threshold, but it lasts longer and it's more level without the anxiety, like you said. Well, to kind of go back to, you said you started drinking basically in Buenos Aires to stay alert, and I guess with programming, but did you would drink that every morning or in the afternoon, or was there a certain rhythm to that?
Yeah, I started drinking it when I was studying. Like I was sitting on a table, like doing math exercises or programming, and then I started drinking it. But it depended on the day. But after some time, I started actually waking up and drinking it
Mm.
because it was my way of starting the day. I have some rituals for starting the day, and I started with a glass of water, and then I go to the mate. So I've been doing that for years, but at some point I started drinking even more. So I do half of a liter very early in the morning, and then during the afternoon or near to lunch, after lunch or something like that, I do another half a liter. But then I mix also with water throughout the day, so I can stay hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
But at the beginning, it was more a ritual for feeling this healthy level of energy,
Mm-hmm.
staying awake. But then sometimes I went back to my town, in the interior of Argentina, and in Argentina, it's also a matter, a social thing, you know. So you are exchanging some words with your friends, or I don't know, telling stories, having fun, and there is always a mate nearby.
Mm-hmm.
So you are also sharing the mate with another person. So it's social, you know. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes an activity that you start sharing not only a moment with your friends, but also stories and different stuff.
There was a quote I've seen, and I don't know that I've shared this with the audience, but I'll have to find it again. It's about when you drink mate alone, it makes you think, and then when you drink mate together, it makes you talk. Something like that. I don't know how to. It's more eloquently put than that, but
I could be
basically,
even more
yeah.
graphical, eh? I could be even more graphical. Imagine this. You wake up in the morning and you're, you know, a little bit sleepy, but then you go to your kitchen, start preparing the cord, the yerba, and then the water, of course. And then you see a window in the living room. You grab all your stuff and you go there, walk there, you sit there, just silence, and then you start, you know, pouring the water and you make the first zip, then it's like relief, you know, and you start. I like watching through the window to see people passing by or the weather and stuff like that. And I don't know, I like it. It's like a meditation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is an experience that is difficult to explain unless you experience it yourself. And it's funny because the more people I've had on the podcast and even telling myself, everybody has a unique experience and everybody kind of adds a little picture to it. And some things, you know, see things differently, but it's kind of beautiful how that one thing can have so many different ways of expressing itself, I guess. And also you I guess mentioned that first sip feeling, um, which is difficult to put words to. Like you said, kind of like like it's kind of like, does that give you kind of like a? Is it more of an energy or is it more of a clarity? What is that first sip feeling to you? If you could
Oh my
try
God,
to
this
explain.
is an amazing question because I guess that different people will be answering different things. You know, for me, it's like that bitter flavor that I feel. I don't know, I love it. It's just the first one, you know, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
And again, different people have different ways of preparing mate. I am the person that puts a little bit of um, not cold water first on
Mm-hmm.
the mate, but not the very heated water on the first one. So it's not very hot, the first mate for me. Therefore, the first one is and the second one is even better, you know, and it's like it's all improves all the time.
So when you said like the first one, not so I guess warm water, or do you actually just put just not the regular temperature, like
Regular one. I don't because it's the first one. I would like my mouth to be prepared for the more heated ones. Therefore, the first one I just use normal water
Mhm.
just to keep it cool, and then second on normal stuff, the water that was already heated.
What about what temperature do you put the water?
I'm usually drinking at 70, but it depends. On summertime, I will be around 65 or 60.
Mhm.
I think that those are
Yeah.
my preferred temperatures. And then we have the famous terere, which is instead of using water, we use juice, orange juice, for example. So in summertime, we will be drinking mate with orange juice.
Hmm.
If you haven't seen that before, it could be strange. Once you try it, it's another experience.
For sure. Yeah, and for those, I guess my Americans, 70 Celsius, which is like I think 150-ish, I think Fahrenheit. And the reason I say that is because people ask me that all the time. What temperature? So and I hear different answers, and I tell myself like I have a different answer than everyone else too. But the one thing we all agree on is no more than 180 Fahrenheit, which is like I think 80 Celsius, I think, give or take.
Yeah, we don't want to burn the
Yep.
Sherba, or we don't want to burn ourselves also. Therefore,
Yeah, and not yourself either. Yeah, because you're definitely too hot to enjoy at that point. And about tereré, which those that you have to go back to a previous episode to maybe learn more about tereré. But just for that's usually cold also too. The ice people put in there, so that's a whole different experience. And well said. And with orange juice, is something I haven't personally done, but really any juice can work, or even just cold water or Sprite people have done. So lemonade. It's another thing that you can kind of do all different ways. So that's kind of cool that you gave us another idea. And now about yerba mate and exercise. So you're drinking yerba mate now, which for those that don't know, you're in Barcelona, so you're in European time, which is I think puts you at about 3 or 4 in the afternoon right now.
right now it's almost 5 p.m.
Okay, so about almost 5 p.m. in the afternoon. So basically the tea time or merienda, and so you're drinking what, about a half liter, I guess, like you said.
Exactly, half a liter. Preparing mentally for a short workout in the gym. I tend to do calisthenics
Mm-hmm.
at the gym. Therefore, for me, mate is somehow preparing me for the exercise. It's energizing me. I feel more energetic, which is great because it gives me that extra fuel for exercising.
Well said. And do you find a certain amount of time between drinking mate and then working out? Is there a certain window there?
Not really, because the way I feel mate is like, I guess after the third or the fourth one, I start feeling the difference in my body. I guess that other people will feel it differently, or maybe there will be even some people that will not feel any difference at all, but the difference is there. But I guess that after the third or fourth mate, I already feel like I could conquer the world. So I use that energy, I channel it through exercise and improve my health overall.
Yeah. And I'm guessing, do you take the mate with you to the gym, or do you just leave it at the house and then go?
I thought so a couple of times, but I'm the type of guy that goes to the gym and I don't want to carry many things with me. I just want my peace. I'm not carrying even my mobile phone actually to the gym, and I'm not even going to the gym with headsets or listen. I don't listen to music at the gym. It's my moment where I'm focused on how can I improve my body weight workout and my movements with the body. And I will feel a little bit weird being there with a lot of people and me being the only one drinking mate, because things could fail or I could do a mess there. Therefore, I would like to avoid it a lot. But yes, I prepare myself mentally and physically, and then I go to the gym to do my workouts.
No, I was just curious. I've apparently there's been people that have been doing that a thing, is taking mate to the gym. I haven't seen that, and I haven't done it myself either. For the same reasons kind of you said, is I sometimes I don't bring anything other than my keys as well, just because I don't want to have to carry things or.
But there is an alternative, which is there are some parks here in Barcelona that I often visit, where you have bars and you can do calisthenics, and there are a lot of people practicing sports there. That's a nice place for bringing the mate, because you can, you always meet with other people doing the same as you, and then you're waiting or recovering aside, then drinking a mate there. I could feel more comfortable in a park or an open space doing it, but not in an interior.
Sure. Yeah, and so this is like an outdoor park with bars. Okay, yeah, understood. Yeah, no, I've not tried that, because I guess it's probably also more, how do I put this, culturally acceptable probably in Barcelona than it would be where I'm at, where I definitely would be the only one, and they're like, what is this guy doing drinking between, sets, versus where you are, it's like they've at least seen yerba mate before, I mean, but versus this guy that's, smoking weed between sets or whatever. That's what they would think. It's pretty common. So I hear that a lot too with other people that think it's weed or whatever. It's like it's kind of a little annoying to have to try to clarify every time and explain, but anyway.
But it even happened to me here in Barcelona.
Yeah.
I was drinking mate on the beach once, and there was a guy that came and asked me for some because he wanted to get high.
Yeah.
And then I explained to the person that no, this is healthy stuff. It's not something that will make you high. It will give you a little bit of energy, but definitely not the effect that you're looking for.
Yeah, that's the effect you're looking for. Yeah. A natural high in a healthy way. Which actually, to talk about that though, seriously, there is some research, and I'm actually going to do another episode just for the listeners and for yourself, that an organization in Colorado that actually uses yerba mate for addiction recovery as a tool and as a ritual to kind of replace those, quote unquote bad habits with something as a healthy alternative. So really, really kind of cool stuff there. And exercise and just think health in general, I think, is the thing that we can all agree on with yerba mate, and the energy and alertness. And I mean, I don't know that there's any real reason not to drink yerba mate other than hey, you're sensitive to caffeine or you just don't like it. I mean, that's fair enough, but I feel like there's so many good things. It's kind of tough to convince me or otherwise, especially after you've really enjoyed the effects. But
and it's also important to mention that people could get creative as well. You can put some tea on top of it as well. Sometimes I mix yerba with a little bit of green tea, for example, and it gets a little bit even more bitter. But green tea has amazing effects on the body. Therefore, people could mix it with blue tea or any kind of tea they prefer, and the flavor could taste a little bit different. But again, the properties are there, and health could be improved as well while drinking it.
I appreciate you saying that, because I do get questions all the time with, which type of yerba and this, that, and the other. And I think the easier answer is whatever you like, right? Because there's one brand that's going to like change your life, or there's one yerba you should always drink. Whatever works for you. And I love how you, as an Argentine, gave that permission, because a lot of times I get that of like, no, you have to do it this way. It's like, well, actually you don't. You can add different, herbs and things to it, cinnamon or chamomile or green tea, like you said, or turmeric even.
Even people in Argentina, we drink lemon mate as well, which doesn't have yerba. It's tea. It's a bag of tea with lemons, and then you just pump the water and you drink it, and it's super healthy. So there are many different ways of drinking mate, but I guess that overall, what I look for is it makes me happy, So I will mix it with the thing that I like, and that's it. I enjoy the moment, the feeling, the flavor, the smell. I don't know. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, what's today's workout? If do you have a plan already, or are you just gonna go how you feel? Do you have any?
Yeah, today is the entire body, so I will start with 15 minutes in the bicycle, and I will move towards abs on machines, then legs, and then bars, and then a workout for like push-ups, more abs, and related.
Nice. Is this a daily habit for you, or do you have a certain days of the weeks that you do exercise or calisthenics, or any routine per se?
I guess that I try to lately I try to do exercises that focuses on the entire body. I am not so many people likes it, because usually it's suggested to split different muscles and exercises, different movements, so you can train differently. But it depends what you would like to train. In my case, I want to develop more elasticity. I want to stretch a little bit, and I would like to have a more strength on certain parts of the body. Therefore, I'm trying to exercise regularly the entire body to see how it goes. and it's giving me some good results for being more active on the bars and how to make some movements easier on the floor or on the bars as well.
Nice. Well, Mariano, thank you for being on the show, and for you guys, World of Mate, which I'll tag them in here in the notes and everything on Instagram. He's got his own mate lovers community. And anything else that you want to share or let the plug for the listeners?
Yes, of course. A friendly invitation to try mate, to taste it, to enjoy it, and for sure to be happy while doing so.
Great invitation. Well, guys, we'll put everything down in the show notes, descriptions, any other information, just send it to me. I'll put it in the show, and we'll have this coming out soon for you guys to enjoy. If you or anyone else that, yerba mate and exercise, really trying to dig into this theme, investigate more, like not just how I feel, but maybe how other athletes feel, or other people, not necessarily athletes, but people that do exercise. Do they drink before or after? Like, how does it make them feel? Is it beneficial in some way? Because, yeah, I mean, there is some articles out there science-wise, but it's kind of tough to put specific, like, scientific data on how someone feels. Sure, you can put on, did they lift X amount more weight, or did they exercise for X amount more time? Sure, I mean, but how do you quantify alertness or happiness or presence, while doing the exercise versus, how much more weight? I don't know. So that's kind of why it's more fun and more realistic to just kind of, I guess, share people's stories. So I appreciate you for taking the time, and have a great workout, and talk to you again soon. Enjoyed it.
Thank you so much for having me here. And if anybody has any doubt or inquiries, feel free to ping us through social media or anything. We will be very happy to help you as much as we can.
Awesome. Thanks, Mariano.